I'm on my own, broken alone. I feel the
Dear rival of lecture, Mr. Agung Fadi and my beloved friends. Okay, today I want to talk about the second language application.
Can I help you?
Yes.
You just stand up.
Okay, the first one, second language acquisition. For the first is acquisition learning hypothesis. There are two distinct ways of developing competence. For the first is acquisition, that is by using language for real communication. And the second way is the learning, knowing about the language. This is statement from Carson and Carroll, 1983. It means that for the first way, developing competence second language is acquisition. Acquisition in here is we get the language with the subconscious, and the second way is the learning about knowing about the language. It means that we know the language with the learn about the language as the rule. And the next.
Is it enough? Is it so? Depends.
Okay. Language acquisition, like I said before, is the subconscious process. It occurs naturally in environment. So, acquisition language with the subconscious process, it means like baby or children for the first born in the world, the children do know about the language, and the children get the language from the environment, maybe in the mother tongue or another. And then according to Carson, both adult and the children can subconsciously acquire language, and either written or oral language can be acquired. This process is similar to the process that children undergo when learning their native language. Okay, for the example, my mom is from Java, and I don't know about the language Java, but I subconsciously know about the language Java, not following the rule, and I know about step by step to use the language. And then the next step. And language learning is what occurs at school in academic setting. It is a conscious process. Like we are in here in English department, we learn about English. We following the rule to learn about the language English, and the language English language. Language learning comprises of a conscious process which results in conscious knowledge about the language. For example, knowledge of grammar rules. For example, we learn about the grammar. It is half the rule to know about the grammar. And language learning involves formal interaction. And according to Carson, it is effective than acquisition. So the Carson said the education is more better than the language learning, because with the subconscious and with the acquisition we can get maksudnya bebas, maksudnya tuh langsung free to speak English, to speak a language, but with the language learning, we must learn about the language and then following the rule. And the next, what is the difference then? What is the difference of learning and acquisition? For the first, learning is formal. It means that we learn about English, or example English, language English, is formal. But in the acquisition, This is the informal language. We can speak a language not following the rule. And then conscious process is learning, and acquisition is subconscious process. And the learning have the purpose. We have the purpose to learn about language. Purpose. And the acquisition is not a purpose. We just speak about the language, not a purpose. And the last is technical and learning. We have a technical step-by-step to following learning about the language. And then the acquisition is the personal. And the next. So this is the process of the second language acquisition. So in the acquisition, like subconscious by internal, like the children grow with maybe like playing games or movies or film. The children can get the natural language from games, movie or films, and picking up words. So the children can get the second language. And next to learning. Learning is conscious by instructor correct error. And we can knowing about the grammar rule, so the children or the student can get the second language. Next. Okay, monitor hypothesis. The monitor hypothesis explains the relationship between acquisition and the learning. The monitor function is the practical result of the learner grammar. According to Krasner, for the monitor to be successfully use three conditions. In the monitor hypothesis, the Krasner say the student can monitor about the language, and adding about the language is correct or incorrect. And then Krasner said three condition to monitor successfully. Okay. For the first is the acquirer or learner must know the rule. This is a very difficult condition to meet because it means that the speaker must have explicit instruction. This means that the speaker must give the language clearly. And second is the acquirer must be focused on correctness. He or she must be thinking about the form, and it is difficult to focus on meaning and form at the same time. And the third is having time to use the monitor. The speaker is then focused on form rather than meaning, resulting the production and exchange of the less information. This is the three conditions to monitoring about the language. And the next. Okay, the next is natural order hypothesis.
Natural
order hypothesis. The natural order hypothesis. Natural order is found in both language acquisition by children and adults alike. In case of L2, natural order exists regardless of the acquired first language. A later finding show that this hypothesis is felt from the language acquisition as well present in the 1982. The application of grammatical structure follows the natural order, which is the predictable, and the English is perhaps the most studied language as far as the natural order hypothesis is accorded and of our structure of English morphology is the most studied. In this natural order hypothesis, it's like Sir Agung say last week, for example, nah ini pena warna kuning, like that. It's a step by step. The children teach mengajarkan anak itu step by step. Teach the children step by step with. So this is the example about the natural order hypothesis. And the next.
Iya,
Okay.
mundur dikit Via.
And first, morpheme accurate. This is the part in the natural order hypothesis. The progressive marker in plural marker S. This is the children for the first know about the language, like language English. Don't know about the rule to in grammatical, but if the children learn about that step by step, the children know the progressive marker in or plural marker S and the accurate letter, third person singular marker and the possessive S. Okay, the order of acquisition for the second language is not same as the order of acquisition for the first language, but these are similar. And Crossan believes that the implementation of the natural order hypothesis is not that our syllabi, so be based on the order found in the studies. Okay.
How many slides?
11.
Okay. First one is paper gloves. And then in terms of just presentation just now, I believe the audience will come any questions probably there is something unclear yet, and then you can ask a question, and then if she can answer the question, and then she try to find out the answer next time. But this is not my job. It does job to find out. Okay, by observing and reading any sources, and then to complete your answer. And my job here is that to record the process of the presentations. I'm going to assess how the milestones of the presentations. This is set my targets, for example, the times. I'm not doing that
Cukupnya cuma batas 23 menit.
pre-all presentation as I did to audience before, but I just do finalize your mark here, just to record. It is not enough of the 20 minutes. I will, this is when your mark. So the presentation should be at 6, more than 20 minutes. So how you arrange your presentation more than whether from the slides, how the quality of the slides with the speaking and this is support by the other okay.
Okay, thank you for your time. My name is Unik Prisutia and nice presentation for Rida. I'm curious to know from your side how important that second language for you. And now we talk about second language acquisition, and that's divided onto that learning and acquisition. And my second question is, if the person has already acquired the second
What is
language,
the first question?
The first question.
the first question is, how's important the second language for you?
How the importance second language for you untuk kau?
And the second is, if the person has already acquired the second language, should the person learn the language? Thank you.
If
If the
Person
person
has already acquired the second language, should the person learn the language? Learn, in that case, learn, I mean that in classroom.
Okay, the first question from Unique, I can answer. How the important first language?
That's important.
How the important? I think the language is a very my opinion. The language is a very important because we get the first language from the mother tongue. Yes. And we know in Indonesia, the first language is mother tongue and the second language is Bahasa Indonesia. It's a very important because we are in here. It's different culture, different environment. So it's important to talk or to speak with others, with the people, with others. This is the very important. And the second question is,
If the person
I answer that if the person has already learning about the language, and I think the people can learn again about the language because the people know about the language, but if the people it's like people
in the world, I mean.
in the world.
Relax.
You know about the language and learn about the language. It's no problem. But if the people or person can not, this is the language not very important for person. It is the people cannot learn again about the language. But to make the language to be better, it's no problem.
Yeah, the question is, we know that for adult people to get second language is not easy. So now my question is, based on your opinion, which one the best way if we want to get a second language by learning or by acquisition?
For the honest question, I think that we can get the second language to with the acquisition, not a language learning, because the acquisition we not subconscious, we know what the language, we can speak the language, not learn, not following the rule. But in the language learning, like we are in this classroom, we learn about the English with the rule, and then this like Crescent said before, the application is the better more than language learning.
Lastly, we can use acquisition.
Yes, maybe in this Indonesia have the kampung English. Yes, it is.
Second language or first language?
Because
First
we
language.
got the first language with the mother tongue, and we can learn about the language is because we got the first language with the subclasses and naturally to speak with others.
Okay, your picture. Next.
Isn't it better acquisition better than learning, right?
Yes.
Okay. So how do we know the structure? The structure is that if we just acquisition the language like this, it's not in all complex. So if we want like English specific purpose, I think if it is specific, you need to learn it, not only acquire, because in acquire it's more global,
Hindi ko na
more general,
Ganyan.
rather than in learning. What do you think about that? How we can structure the structure in for specific purpose? If only if you say that acquisition is better than learning, because in learning we can know the using of language itself to be specific for the specific purpose. Maybe like as a student in engineering, I know about the English as my second language. It is just example, but if I just use acquire without learning, I think in some language or some term in engineering, I don't know, because in acquire it's I just get it or acquire it general, not specific, right? What do you think about that?
The language acquisition and between the acquisition and learning. In acquisition, someone get the language in subconscious process di alam bawah sadar. And if we
That's all my explanation about second language. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.